Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today's a bit of an exciting video. I'm just gonna do a get ready with me. I'm going to Winter Wonderland later with my boyfriend and I thought it'd be a good idea just to film the makeup look I'm gonna wear because it's gonna be quite fun and winter vibes obviously. I'm gonna sort of go with the theme of my jumper, a nice blue.
Beautiful new blue.
I think it'll just be cute. I might add some clips of Winter Wonderland at the end if you're interested. So stay tuned for that, but let's just jump straight into the makeup. So the first thing I'm going to take is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I know it gives you a little applicator, but I just dig my finger in like that and rub it between my fingers and sort of just apply it to my face. I find it very smoothing in and just makes my base look nice and even. I am interested about that acne fighting one. I've heard good things about that. Yeah, this just helps to even out any texture or pores on my face. Okay, so now that's applied, I'm going to take my Nars Sheer Glow Foundation and I'm just going to take that on my Coco Cosmetics Marshmallow sponge. This is shape 2. It's so huge and squishy and you'll see how quickly this blends out your foundation. It is insane. So I just sort of pour the Nars foundation on the back. Best to go with a little and then build up. And I just dot it all over. See, look how big this sponge is on my face, but it is amazing and it is so soft. I feel like my Real Technique sponges have gotten quite firm. I don't know what it is, but this just feels so soft in comparison. Now I didn't apply a lot. I'm just gonna take a bit more on the back and go over again with a second layer, especially since I'm not bringing it down the neck a lot since I'm wearing this jumper. Just enough to sort of cover my jawline. See, look how easy that blended out and it looks so smooth. So I'm going to take my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Nougatine and just put that on a little any acne scars are peeking through or anything. I don't have a lot at the moment, but I just want my base to be flawless because of the sort of blue coloured eyes. I think it just looks nicer when your base is a bit more flawless. And I'll probably have some photos taken. And I'm just going to go in with the same sponge I use on my foundation and bounce over where I put the concealer. I applied that concealer with a Zoeva Concealer Buffer brush. And I'm going to take the same concealer just in the shade Vanilla and put that around my eyes. It's just a bit lighter, maybe a bit on my nose to highlight. And once again, I'm just going to go in with the same sponge. Just before anything can start to crease, I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way Loose powder. Just take that in the lid on a Real Technique setting brush. And I just sort of run that all over my eye. I'm going to use some cream products, so I don't want to set the whole of my face yet. I always set around the eyes, just help prevent any creasing. I run a bit through my eyebrows as well. Don't know if that's weird. It helps whenever I'm applying any eyebrow products, I feel. I'm taking out an old favourite that I haven't used in a while. It's the Chanel Cream Bronzer. Don't know why I just haven't used it. I felt like I was overusing it on my channel. It's all I ever used. So I started branching out a bit, but I'm gonna give her another go. I haven't used her in a few weeks. And I'm just gonna take that on my Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush. Sort of just swirl that in the places I bronze. I forgot how even this applied and blended. It's so beautiful. Sort of trying to blend that into the neckline of the jumper as well, just so everything looks seamless. I kind of forgot how amazing this bronzer looks. I love this bronzer so much. I know why I would apply it every single time I've done my makeup. It's so healthy looking, just applies so smoothly and yeah, I love it. I'm now going to take the Glossier Cloud Paint in Dusk. It's this sort of simple looking peachy nude. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit on the back of my hand and take my Morphe M427, sort of like stippling blush brush. It is the perfect natural colour and it just suits like every look. So I just sort of apply that over the whole tops of my cheekbones and along my nose. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty and I think it will suit the blue nice. Just for fun, I'm gonna layer a bit of the Huda Beauty Glowish Blush in Healthy Peach. I think they'll complement each other nicely. Yeah, that looks really nice. It looks sort of flushed. I think it will suit sort of the cold weather vibe. It does look like quite a lot at the moment, but I think when the rest of the look is on, it will sort of blend in together, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of that Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow in Perla. I feel like I'm reusing a lot of products that I used in sort of summertime. And I'm just gonna take that on my sponge and put that on the high points of my cheeks. Just gives the most subtle golden champagne glow. It's so pretty. Just down the sort of bridge of my nose. It's a really smooth sort of glow as well. It's gorgeous. That's just on my Coco Cosmetics Shape 2 sponge as well. This one's just a bit more pointy. So I think I'm gonna do my brows now before eyeshadow. Thinking about it, I really should have done the eyeshadow first, but here we are, so we're just gonna leave that. Well, here we are, so I'm just gonna leave that and just do my eyebrows. I'm just gonna fill it in with the Refi Brow Pencil and then go in with the NYX Brow Glue after to sort of set them in place. I do like this brow glue a lot more than I like the Refi Beauty sort of brow sculpt, I think it's called. That one would leave sort of flaky white bits in my eyebrows, whereas I haven't noticed that with this one at all. It very much dries down clear, and you can make it look a bit more natural or a bit more slicked down if you want. It's a very flexible product. Time to move on to the star of the show. I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Born to Run palette because I really wanna use this sort of blue here. I think it matches the jumper really well. Before I start, I'm going to take my Fenty powder bronzer just all over my crease on a Morphe M504 just to sort of lay down the shape. Something that's not too warm or too cool. Really nice sort of fluffy blending blush. I can't speak. It's a really nice fluffy blending brush. It's really good for laying down sort of a transition shade. So now I've laid down that bronzer as sort of a transition shade, I'm going to take the shade Riff here, just on a Zoeva Luxe crease brush. Not too much, I don't want this to be too warm, but I'm just all gonna put that in my actual crease and outer corner just to define the area a little bit more. And I'm gonna just run that on my lower lash line as well. I always want to be careful to sort of make sure I'm connecting the lower lash line to sort of the eyeshadow on my top lid. Just makes everything pull out a bit nicer. I'm going to go back in with that big Morphe blending brush and just go over the two together to make sure everything's really seamlessly blended. I think I'm just going to dive straight in. I'm just going to take that on my finger. Look how pretty that is. So that's the shade Radio here. It's the darker of the blues. And just tap this on sort of my lid. I'm not going to go too high into the crease because I'm going to blend it up in a really controlled fashion. And I'm going to be sure to leave, I look really weird. I'm going to be sure to leave my sort of inner corner clear because I don't want to close my eyes off too much. Okay, so I'm going to just take that same Luxe Crease brush, I keep calling brushes blush, and just really slowly blend the edges. As this eyeshadow is quite cool, I'm going to still just dip into Riff a bit, and that should help with the blending a tiny bit more, as well as keeping it a little bit on the warmer side still. I think I'm going to take Blue Sky, which is of the lighter blues, and sort of put that on the inner corner. Not the inner corner, but just the inner third. Try and create a little bit more dimension. I'm going to take a clean Luxe Crease blush. I'm going to take a clean Luxe Crease brush. Just on that bronzer I was using originally. I'm really struggling with my words. Just run that in the crease. Don't want to blend the blue too high, but we're really being careful here still. I think that's a gorgeous colour. It's so pretty. And it's blended well and it's still really holding its pigment. I am going to take my concealer brush from earlier and sort of clean up the edges like this, because I think that was just a tiny bit of fallout, which is leaving sort of a blue cast underneath, which we do not want, especially under your eyes. But other than that, I'm really surprised there's like no fallout. And I'm just going to take my Coco Cosmetics sponge and just bounce that in. going to take this e.l.f. flat liner brush. It's this just really thin brush in the shade Radio. Sort of tight line my lower lash line with it. And then go back in with that crease brush and blend it all. I am going to just try and clean up that edge one more time since I've been blending still, just with some of that Too Faced powder. I'm just going to sort of bake underneath and just leave that there for a bit and just stamping it in with my sponge. Yeah, I think that looks pretty clean. I'm just going to take some of that Anastasia highlighter I was using on a little pencil brush, just because I want it to be really cohesive. I'm going to take that in my inner corner and I sort of run that a little bit under my lash line and sort of blend it into the eyeshadow as well. So we're looking highlighted in the inner corner and it is very cohesive with the rest of the eye look. I think I need mascara. It's hard to tell whether you like the eye look without mascara. So I'm just going to coat my eyelashes in the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And we're going to do quite a lot because with the dark look it can be hard to see your eyelashes. What do we think? Do we like this eyeshadow? I think it looks nice. It is very out there, and I'm not actually someone to wear a lot of out there eyeshadow when I go out, but I feel like it's appropriate for Winter Wonderland to be able to amp up your look a bit, especially since it's a nighttime sort of thing I'm going. It feels more appropriate. I'm gonna do my lips. I'm gonna take the NYX lip pencil in Nude Beige. I'm just gonna sort of line my lips with that and I fill it in a tiny bit. This is just a cool tone nude. It's very wearable and very similar to my actual lip colour. Over the top, I'm gonna take MAC Honey Love. Oh, I don't know what gloss I want. I think I'm gonna take Butter Gloss in Madeline. Yeah, I think this is a nice neutral lip. It doesn't take away from the eyes at all, but it sort of finishes the look. I'm just gonna take some of that Fenty powder bronzer, just on an angled bronzer brush, and sort of add it to the perimeter of my face. Here is the finished look. I think it's so pretty and it matches this jumper really nicely. I'm just gonna add some setting spray to set it all down and then I will take my hair down and we can see the finished look. This is Urban Decay All Nighter, by the way. Sort of fan that down. Now that I've sort of dried down some, I'm just gonna take my foundation sponge and really lightly sort of pat down that setting spray and sort of mesh everything together. Okay, let's take the hair down. Okay, so what do we think? This is the finished look. I think it's really cute, really pretty, wintry, but it is definitely glam. I feel glam. I'm really glad I got to use this palette and especially some of the colourful shades as I don't find myself doing that a lot. I'm really thinking about doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this one because there is just so much variation of tones here and you can get so many looks. I am thinking about doing that. Just before we move on to the Winter Wonderland clips, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. And also check me out on my Instagram at Time to Put My Face On. But anyway, here's some clips of Winter Wonderland and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!